Ohio State is off this week. Ohio State is ranked as the number 6 team in the country entering this bye weekend. They're better than that. Where is Ohio State really sort of in the mix of the best teams? I think they're definitely one of the 4 best teams in the country. I'm not saying that I would rank them there, but this is just like really who they are. Oklahoma was really good the night they beat Ohio State, and Ohio State is much better than they were that night. I think Ohio State is better than Penn State. I think Ohio State is maybe better than Clemson. I think Ohio State is probably better than Oklahoma if they played again, unless Baker Mayfield went absolutely nuts again. I think Ohio State, at the beginning of the year, people thought about Ohio State as it's Alabama and Ohio State as the 2 best teams. I think that maybe is the reality. It just so happens that Ohio State lost in week 2. But now, the way they're playing, I think that's possible. Tim, where do you sort of put Ohio State in this mix?
Number 2 sounds good to me. I'll go number 2, right behind Alabama. The big argument I always make is with Georgia, because if Kelly Bryant's injured for Clemson, that kind of takes them down a significant notch. I think I would put Ohio State just ahead of Clemson because I like Ohio State's offensive balance a little more. Georgia's got an amazing defense. They can run the football, but they have a true freshman at quarterback, and they probably don't trust him as much as Ohio State obviously does with a redshirt senior. So with offensive balance and a defensive line that is tremendous and that should help their back 7, I'd put them just behind Alabama number 2.
Bill, you're our AP poll voter. I said this the other week on our Buckeye Talk podcast. Make sure you guys have subscribed to that. I think it's possible the 4 best teams are 2 in the SEC, 2 in the Big Ten. Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State. Is that possible?
Certainly possible. TCU is pretty good. TCU is unbeaten. I think TCU is the best team in the Big 12. Big 12 is weird. It's kind of a land, or what's it called? They fill with landmines at the moment. The Big 12. I think Ohio State has an argument as for best team in the country, which I know sounds crazy and like whatever. We're drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, I guess. We've watched this team play over the last 5 weeks. They look completely dominant, more dominant than any team in the country. If you look at like advanced stat ratings, they are the number 1 team in the country. I know it's hard to sort of grasp that because we've seen it before, and last year it didn't mean anything because they played a good team and they lost. We're not predicting in this that they're going to beat Penn State, but I don't vote this way because I don't think you should vote this way, but if I'm looking around the country, I'm picking Ohio State to definitely beat everyone, and I'm having an internal conversation about Alabama. They're that good.
I rewatched the Ohio State-Penn State game from last year. Ohio State's offense looks like a JV offense compared to what they've been doing lately. And I know they've been doing it against weaker competition. The whole thought process of the offense, go watch it. Go watch them last year. It is a different team. It's a different team from week 2. We're just telling you what we think. Listen, you don't have to hold yourself back. Be excited for this Ohio State-Penn State game. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't have to hold yourself back. If you're an Ohio State fan, you are rooting for a really good team. Tim, Bill, Doug, thanks for watching. Keep everything locked on cleveland.com because we're going to have a million things building up to the game. We'll talk to you soon.